Hello, hello. I am Cynthia, aka the Insurance Disability Queen. And what do I do? Well, I am an insurance professional here in the great state of Georgia. I am licensed in all probably 25 states or so. So I guarantee you I'm licensed in your state. If not, I'll be coming soon. Okay? Alrighty, and who do I help? Well, if you're talking about disability, one of the things, a couple of the people that we have is business owners and truck drivers. Those are two of, and it covers so many people, right? But business owners and truck drivers, these are our group of people that we love to talk to every day. I'm talking to business owners and truck drivers on how to protect their income, their earnings, whatever you call it, right? Securing that almighty dollar, right? So the very great thing that you work for every day, every week, okay? So we love talking to you guys and gals about that information and protecting your most valuable asset in your business, which is your income, okay? So that's what I love to do. But most of the time, you're going to see me talking seriously about protecting your income. Okay. So it's one of the things that is dear to me. So, and protecting your income is one of the things that we do. So on my page, we talk about myths, the misconceptions about it all, the importance of it, disabilities, and the possibility of becoming disabled if you are a business owner or just individual, okay? I think that's a good place to start is who, okay? Who would be good for this? So my answer is really simple. That is for anyone who works, right? Pay taxes and protect their family. Okay, this would be that individual who is not working necessarily for their health, okay? I don't know too many that's working for their health, okay? A lot of times we're working against our health, but not for it. So in other words, is what I'm saying is, it's not the thing of, that even though we enjoyed what we do, I do, okay? But at the same time, if I became disabled, okay, and no longer able to work, no longer able to bring in an income, that means that the very thing that I work every day for, which is to pay for these beautiful lights that are in my room here, the grocery, I was just eating something, the grocery that I purchase, however often that is. But if I'm not able to work and bring in an income, a lot of that is going to cease. And if it doesn't cease, it's going to slow way down. Okay, so that's what we do. We protect your income. We help you illustrate, strategize on how to protect your income if you become disabled. Why would you want to do this? You would want to do this because this is one of the greatest added value, okay, to your financial portfolio. Okay, so in our financial portfolio, we may have some real estate, we may have some life insurance, everything. This portfolio is just a pie, right? Pieces, percentages. But in this portfolio, we should also have income protection, okay? Because guess what? Even though you have all these things, divided out in this pie, the realistic part about it is this. If you became disabled, some of those things that you actually pay for with the income that you work for, you won't be able to pay for it anyway, right? So
we are concerned for the family, for the future, is disability. Because a lot of times.
So, again, I'm not going to hold you long, but I do want to just share with you just a few things about what you should look for, some of the things that you want to look for when you are talking about protecting your income, okay? So when you're doing that, you want to make sure that the policy is catered to you individually. There is nothing more important to me, okay, when I'm looking at any type of financial policy, okay? Rather it be life insurance or rather it be the disability insurance, it's nothing like your own. Ownership is the key. And when I say that is, if you have this type of insurance or any one that I've just mentioned, if you have it on the job, typically you don't own it, okay? You don't own it. So there is no real true ownership to this policy, okay? Meaning if you were to leave that employment, guess what? 99% of the time, that policy is not portable, okay? So meaning it cannot go with you, okay? So there is no true ownership to the policy, okay? So that's one of the things. That's the one key thing that you want to. And how our disability policy is different than one that you may have on your job, whether it be long-term or short-term disability policy. Our policy goes with you. So it is ownership. You own it. It is yours. And it goes with you, rather you go from one trucking company to the next, one business to the next. It's your policy and it follows you. So ownership is one of the biggest things that any of you should be looking for when you're talking about these type of financial vehicles that you want to secure your future. Let's talk about a few myths, okay? A few myths and about disability insurance. With disability insurance, a lot of people think that you're on the job and you get injured due to something related to work and it's workers' comp. Okay, that's workers' comp on the job because, that's where it happened, right? Again, our policy is individual, you own it, and it protects you on and off the job. So this is another thing, okay? So you're covered on the job for workers' comp, but you at home and you up on the ladder and you fall off, break your arm, okay? or worse than that, right? So that's not workers' comp that's going to cover that. So you have to think about these things on what would happen if you were to become injured or if you became sick, okay? So, that's what disability income insurance is, and that's what we talk about here on our channel. So we love to discuss, protecting your income in event of a disability due to an injury or an illness, okay? So this policy that we offer will cover up to a certain percentage of your income in event of a disability. Okay. Alrighty. So, and we've already talked about why, a lot of you guys and gals, particularly in the trucking industry, a lot of you are the sole breadwinners, I would say, in your home. And if you became disabled and unable to work, unable to bring an income in, it is going to be a financial strain on you, on your family, okay? The very thing that we work for every day, which is to protect our family, protect our income. And so many times I see it. Being in the industry of insurance for as long as I have been, and I'll mention it again, it has been 17 years, almost 18 years that I've been doing in the insurance professional. And I've seen business owners, I've seen truck drivers, up until recently, okay, in the last month, okay, just a couple of, and when I'm saying a couple, that's a lot when, it's when there is a void, okay, when there is someone who is unable to work, okay, and when the sickness happens or the injury, that's it, okay. So you have to already have this in insurance in place in event that this thing happens, okay. Now, Our policy is, and I must say, it is a sweet policy. It is a very, very sweet policy. It has some components in it that will literally blow your mind, okay? And we'll talk about some of those in some of our future upcoming lives that we'll be doing. But it's some good coverages that I think if you are in the arena of business, or if you're in a trucking, I do see a lot of my truck drivers, because we do commercial insurance as well, only in the state of Georgia for that. But I talk to truck drivers all the time, okay? We are doing their insurance for their trucking or for their liability and all that good stuff. But so many of you guys and gals, you work so hard, okay? Some of the hardest in working physically and, and sometimes mentally, working people. And I think one of the most underserved occupation, okay? Because you're grinding, you're going and you're working and you're doing and you're trying to get the next load and you're trying to get your truck drivers all lined up and however your business is set up, okay? But at the end of the day, I know that you're concerned. I talk to so many truck drivers and they say, I think about this all the time. I think about what if I became disabled? What if I don't return home? Okay, that's a whole different subject. But what if I became sick? And many are sick and many have health issues that, that's just preventing them to really perform already in their job. So it is very, very, very important. If you're a 1099 worker, if you are a W-2 worker, okay, this policy is great. This coverage, this paycheck protection is great for you, okay? So if you're interested, in learning more about protecting your income with disability income insurance, I'll go ahead and drop this right now. My contact is, you can text trucker to 912-564-2425. If you're interested in discussing, you would talk directly to me. Now, I may not answer the phone initially, but you will talk directly to me and we can discuss, what it would look like if you are interested, you don't have anything like this in place, in event that you become disabled, okay, or due to an injury or a sickness, okay. It does happen, okay. Listen, we all hope and dream and we can visual retiring and never getting sick. I myself do, but I guarantee you that I have the same policy that I'm talking to you guys and gals about. So I'm not fooled for one day that because I'm healthy now, that things are going to always be that way. Okay. But when that time does come, when that time comes that something does happen, okay, you want to be prepared. You don't want to be dependent on Social Security, okay, SSI, SSDI, which is great. If you are a participant in that, that's great, okay. That's an added bonus, okay. We can talk about that later as well. If you have Social Security disability, if you're approved for that, even if you're approved for workers' comp and you have this individual policy, your own policy, because remember, you own this. Your job does not own this. You own it. Okay? You get the luxury of having both benefits. Okay? But more importantly, the industry of occupations that we typically talk to, okay, the business owners in the trucking industry, in the real estate industry, a lot of you guys and gals does not have anything like this in place in event. Okay. and you make great money. You make great income. But if you become sick, what would happen? I'll just let you think about that, okay? Just let you think about that. So, business owners, when we're talking to our business owners, there are so many things that is covered in our business expense policy, okay? So this thing is a twofold, threefold, it goes on and on. Like I mentioned to you, it's a suite policy, okay? Suite coverage is what it is. But benefit expenses, so you as the business owner, you're disabled, you're out of work. That means that, and if you're a business owner, that means that the business needs to still operate, right? So you need to pay your employee salaries and your facility expenses, whether that be your lease, your rent, your mortgage, and loan interest, okay? Your property and your liability insurance, your maintenance, your utilities. All of these things would need to be taken care of if you're a business owner and you become disabled. So not only do we talk about protecting your income as the business owner, but we also discuss covering your business expenses in event that you as the owner is out of work and you still need to take care of these expenses that is in your business. Your operation expenses, your taxes, property and payroll taxes, your depreciation. These are some of the same things that as a business owner, we file on our taxes, right? So when we file these things on our taxes as write-off, what are those? Those are business expenses, right? So if you became disabled as a business owner, some of these same business expenses is eligible to be covered because you are out of work, because you, the business owner, is disabled. Okay? How many businesses do you know that closed down? I mean, we really don't know, but they closed down because the business owner can no longer work. The business owner gets sick or injured and they're out of work, and that means that the business is not even operating. Okay? It's not operating, and they don't have any coverage in place to help even pay the employees, okay, so that they can keep working and making and keeping the business afloat. Okay, so it's so many coverages, it's so many benefits that would help a business owner if the business owner is disabled. And just a few other things, your professional expenses, such as your dues and subscriptions, your chamber dues and membership dues. When those things come up for renewal, you know, and as the business, and if you're out and the business is not making the money, you want to be able to make sure that these things happen. And this is great for, again, my truck drivers. You know, I love talking to you guys and gals. Okay, I do, because I get it. You know, I'm not in the trucking industry. Kind of, sort of, you know, but I'm not a truck driver or anything. But I do know for a matter of fact that you guys and gals are one of the most underinsured, I won't say uninsured, but underinsured occupation. And a lot of times it's not because that's what you choose. I guess it's your choice, but you're so busy. You're busy and you're not taking the time. You think about it, but you're not taking enough time to really sit down with someone that is not going to just cram something down your throat, push you into something. That's not me at all, okay? But sitting with someone that is going to listen, is going to have your best interest. Okay, even though I don't know you right now, but I guarantee you, if we were to have a conversation, you will learn that quickly about me and how I am, you know, so concerned because I see it, okay? I do insurance. I do the health insurance for truck drivers, business owners. I do the life insurance for business owners and truck drivers. We do the disability for you guys and gals. So I know when an issue arrives, and I know, and I get the calls about when someone does not have this type of insurance in place. I get the calls when it's time to file a claim as well. But when there is nothing there, when there is nothing in place, that's a hard conversation. Not that we didn't do it, but you didn't do it. The individual didn't take care of this. And then you're wondering, where do I go? It makes it so much harder, okay? So much harder to find something, and it's not going to be, it could probably help some kind of way, but it's not going to be what you need. So it is very important that you really think about what would you do? What would you do? If any of y'all are if you can just tell me right now, if you don't have anything like this in place, nothing like this in place, no income protection, you're not even participating in Social Security disability, no FICA coming out, none of that stuff, what would you do? Put it in the comments. What would you do if you had nothing like this in place? I got a call from a gentleman not very long ago off the channel, off of TikTok. And he called me up because he listened to one of my videos, of course. But he called to say that this had just happened to a buddy of his. Young man was in his 30s, and that's what shook him. He explained to me how he had to go back home and live with his mother. I've seen it happen. I'm not here to scare anyone. I'm not here to put any fear in anyone. I'm here with true, hard facts. Okay? So I don't want you to take it in that way. But if it does scare you or make you just aware of what is not going on, what you may not have going on, yeah, let it be. Okay? Just call me. Okay? And again, number 2, reach out to me. You can text DI for disability insurance. You can text trucker if you're a trucker. You can text it all to 912-564-2425. Okay? But so here we are. And that was the situation. He is a healthy young man who called. But the stories that I hear when they do call, what really jars them and shake them up to look further into what we're talking about. Okay? So if you were to become disabled, unable to bring in an income, what would you do? What would you do? I've heard some say that they would go into their savings. My savings is not set aside for a disability, okay? I don't care how much I have saved, it's not for a disability. Why is that? We already know from just insurance or not having insurance, and we're talking about health insurance right now, just for this 1 second here or 2 seconds. One injury, one sickness can bankrupt you. Okay, so how do you have so much savings that this is what you'll use if you became disabled? So that's not what my savings is for. Okay, it's not. I don't even think that you can even save enough for that. Okay, you can't save enough for that, just like you can't save yourself into financial freedom. You can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. Okay? Well, I won't say impossible, but it just don't happen. You don't save. Okay? Saving means you're parking it in unless there's some extra growth there. But to say that you would use your, I don't know right now, but I don't want to go into my savings. You should not go into your savings. Your savings, when you started your savings, whatever it's for, You have already named it for that. But so many times, I've seen individuals, this is their answer. I will go into my savings. I'll go into my 401k. I'll go into my retirement. I'll go into, listen. So, and then when would you ever be able to replenish that? And then when you are depleted it, then what do you do? So this is why it's so important for you to plan ahead, just like you planning for that savings that you have. Most people, they're digging, like I said, they're digging into retirement, rather it's something that they personally have set aside. But I just don't think that you can save your way out of a disability claim. Okay, you will soon run dry. What happens after that? And a fact says that nearly 69% of Americans would experience a financial difficulties if their paycheck were delayed for a week. Next week this time, if you stop working today, 69%, this is a fact, 69% of Americans will experience financial difficulties if their paycheck were delayed for a week. So that means that, I don't know how many people are on here, but that means that 69%, well, I guess not that many, but of Americans would experience a financial difficulty if their paycheck was delayed for 1 week. I believe it. Do you all believe that? I believe it, and I've seen it. Yeah. So, from, again, individuals having to go back home, live with family. And let me tell you something, family members ain't too happy about bringing grown folks back to the house, okay? Sick or not, okay? That's just the truth, okay? But, and on the serious note, when this happens and you have to adjust so suddenly, it's very stressful. I've seen individuals go back to work sick, go back to work injured. You can't even heal properly. But this is one of the things that we do. This is one of the things that we talk about. We discuss with our truck drivers, our business owners, on how to protect your income in event of a disability due to an injury or an illness. Okay? And we're talking about different than, using your savings, okay, in event of a disability. If you're going to set aside for that with the policy, with coverage, with benefits that's going to pay you while you're out of work. Okay. Our policies are geared to total disability or either partial disability. So both of those things is going to you would be covered for. So in some great riders will just go a little bit more deepen into the policy. Okay, what to look for, what is available, how long should you, design your policy for your benefits. We'll talk about return of premium. People ask all the time, and I tell them, they'll ask me, and I love it. It doesn't bother me, but some ask, well, what if I never become disabled? And the premium that I paid, what happens to it? I kind of smile and I said, I'm glad you asked, but many of us don't ask Social Security and all of them what happens to the money if we never use it, right? But we offer return of premium, okay? Return of premium, which is a great add-on that you can have. So that means if you never became disabled, you could get all your premiums back. It's just so many components, so many parts to this policy when we're talking about protecting your income. Income protection, disability income protection, paycheck protection, protecting your earnings, protecting your dollars in event that you become disabled due to an injury or an illness. So it's one of my joys of being in the insurance industry is educating individuals, on various types of insurance. So it's a joy to me. I really enjoy what I do. And again, if any of you would like to contact me to have a one-on-one consult, no cost, okay? I would never charge to do that. But a consult with me to just, again, look at what you currently have. Okay? Look at what you currently have. And let's see. Let's see how we can put together an illustration designed for you. Okay? So a lot of this, a lot of it is, it's going to be different. It's going to be different from your next friend or your next, partner or whatever, because it's designed for you. We talked earlier about ownership. Okay? A lot of people, and I think because in life we like to compare to others, and even in insurance, people say, well, such and such insurance is, listen, we can't compare it. Okay? You are you and they are they. Okay? So, but just remember that your income is your greatest asset. It is what allows everything to, if it was not so, you wouldn't even go to work every day. You wouldn't even go to work every day. I have 2 girls, and my baby, she would always, they love their daddy, okay? But she would say, Daddy, you have to go to work today? Always want to know. And he'd say, yes, if I don't go to work, what's going to happen? That's what he would say. And so that she would understand, where he was coming from. But that's what he would always say. And she learned that the answer was, and he let her give the answer. And every night, every time he would go to work, she would ask that question. Daddy, you have to go to work? I don't want you to go to work. You know how girls are with their dad. And he'd say, if I don't go to work, what's going to happen? And she would always say, we're going to have to get out this house. Okay? So my point is this. Even as, a little, as we teach our children the importance, and sometimes the teaching that we give them may not come, so direct, black and white, but she figured it out. And we tease with her now. She's an adult now, but we tease with her. And she still knows the importance of going to work, and she also knows what will happen if you're unable to go to work or if you don't go to work, okay? But we're talking about protecting your income in event that you are unable to work, unable to bring in an income, not because you just want to sit home and watch the Georgia game or, and not just go in. But we're saying when a sickness has happened, a stroke, a heart attack, cancer, an accident that prevents you from working, and you have to tell those same little girls and boys that you work for, because we work for them, to make sure that ends are met, and you're not bringing in the income. That's going to be very stressful. I see it. I see it all the time. And, it bothers me. It does. Because sometimes we can put things off and we can wait to see, and we gonna do it. I will. But we never know what the next day is gonna bring. And for so many that I've met, so many that I insure, so many that I've been in discussions with, and sometimes, time just hit just when, and there's nothing that you can do. Nothing that you can do as far as having something set where your income is protected. So, alrighty. So I promised from the beginning I wasn't going to hold you long. But I'm Cynthia with Cynthia Scott Insurance Agency. I am an insurance specialist professional here in the great state of Georgia. I'm licensed in over 25 states, and I guarantee I'm licensed in your state. If not, I'm coming soon. One of our most biggest heartfelt things that we do is protecting income with disability income insurance. In event that you become disabled unable to bring in an income, unable to pay for the groceries and pay the lights and pay for the daycare and pay for all those things that your family is dependent on you to do. That's what we do. We help you make sure that you continue to help them. So again, my contact is 912-564-2425. Listening to me. I want you to share this information, share the video, share all of the information that I'm sharing. Share it with someone that you know, share it with someone that you don't know, and share it with someone that you love. So that, and if you're in a situation where this may not even work for you because you could already be disabled, you may already, have some things going on, share it with someone else. Okay? All right. So, again, this is Cynthia with Cynthia Scott Insurance Agency. We're going to end. But we will be back. Okay? We'll be back again and again and again. So, follow me. Follow for more information. Follow for more tips. Follow for more questions. We're here. We're here to help you guys and gals. Okay?